Hello, today I'm going to talk about the prisoner hat riddle. It's a relatively famous riddle, so let's see how it goes. Let's say you have an infinite supply of red and black hats, and you take a group of 10 prisoners and you put them in a dark room without light, and each prisoner takes a hat randomly and puts it on his head, and then the prisoners stand in a line, one after the other, and then you turn on the light. At this stage, each prisoner can see all the people in front of him and all their hats, but he cannot see his own hat, and he cannot see, of course, the hats of the people who stand behind him. And now we start a game, and it goes like this. We go by prisoner, and we start with the last guy in the line, and we ask them, what color is your hat? And the person can only answer red or black. He cannot say anything else. Any other answer or whatever sound or I don't know what is illegal. He can only say red or black. That's the only thing he can say. And the question is, can you come up with a strategy as a group? Can you come up with a strategy that will ensure that you will have 9 correct answers? And even in some cases 10 correct answers. So this is the riddle. If you want to solve it, then pause the video. I will show the solution in a few moments. So let's see how we can solve this. We start with the last person in the queue, in the line. He can see 9 people ahead of him and he can see their hats. And by definition, because he sees 9 people, he will see an odd number of hats from a certain color. It could be either red or black, but by definition, because there are 9 hats, there will be an odd number of a certain color. So it can be 5 black hats and 4 red ones. So in this case, there will be an odd number of black hats. It can be 9 red hats and 0 black hats. In this case, there will be an odd number of red hats. In this specific example, I use 3 red hats. So the last person would say red, because he sees an odd number of red hats. And once he says red, regardless of the hat he has on his own head, he will say red. We start to maintain like a counter or like a flag, and that flag would say red and odd. This means that we start with the red and odd, with an odd number of red hats. So let's see how we use this information going forward. Let's look at the person or prisoner number 9. Is the second prisoner from last. He looks forward and he sees 8 hats and he sees 3 red hats. And in other words, he sees an odd number of red hats. At this moment, he immediately realizes that he himself has a black hat. Why? If he had a red hat, the guy behind him, the last guy in the line, would have seen an even number of red hats. But that's not the case. Therefore, prisoner number 9 will know immediately that he has a black hat, so he will say black. Let's move to the next guy. Guy number 8, he will do the exact same thing as prisoner number 9. He will look ahead, he will see an odd number of red hats, and he will realize that he has a black hat. And the same logic. If he didn't have a black hat, if he had a red hat, then the guys behind him would have seen an even number of red hats, but that's not the case. So that's how all the people with black hats will realize that they have black hats. So let's move to prisoner number 6. Prisoner number 6 looks ahead and he sees 2 red hats. In other words, he sees an even number of red hats, and in this moment he will understand that he has a red hat himself, because if he had a black hat, all the guys behind him would have seen an even number of red hats. But that wasn't the case. Therefore, prisoner number 6 will understand that he has a red hat, and at this moment we will change the status of our counter or flag. It will change from odd to even. That means that from now on, until something new happens, we will expect to see an even number of red hats. So let's see what happens now with prisoner number 5. He looks ahead and he sees only 1 red hat, but he knows he should expect to see an even number. Therefore, at this moment, he realizes that he has a red hat, and at this stage, we will change the status of our counter again from even to odd. And we will continue with the exact same logic for each prisoner, and each prisoner will check how many hats he sees in front of him, either an odd or even number of red hats, and based on that, he will know what color he has. And note that I could have used any number of prisoners here. It could be 10 or 100 or 1000. As long as the last guy in the line sees an odd number of people in front of him, by definition there will be an odd number of hats from a certain color. And we will take advantage of this information to solve, to have as many correct answers as possible. So this was the riddle. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.